Okay, in last video we graphed linear equations. Now we're on the inequalities, and it basically looks just like what you've been doing, except they throw a greater than or equal sign in. And basically you're going to end up shading in one side of the graph on one side of the line. Okay, so the goal is basically to do exactly what we've just been doing and draw the actual line, and then we move in there and we draw the we find the shaded region. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. Okay, first I have I got x plus y is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, and what that means is all the xy pairs that are going to render this thing greater than 3, this inequality right here. So first thing we'll do is let's just switch this back to what we're familiar with. And that's x plus y equals 3, and let's graph it. Okay. And we'll just use the same technique. Okay, if I put in 0 for y, by now we're probably good enough that we don't even need to really do anything. But if I put 0 in for y, x is equal to 3, isn't it? And likewise, if I put 0 in for x, y is equal to 3, isn't it? Okay, so this one isn't too bad. Okay, it's just an example problem. So let's go, and we have 3, 0. X equals 3, and then we have 0, 3. Okay, so here's, and basically, you know, we've done this part before, so this isn't anything special. We're not doing anything too exciting. Okay, so there you go. All right, that's our line. Let me go ahead and just write it over here. This is x plus y equals 3. That's the line. Now what we're interested in is x plus y being greater than or equal to 3. Okay? So what we'll do right here is to figure out which area we're either going to shade this section or this section. So what we want to do is just pick a point on either side, okay, and plug the numbers in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plug in, I'm going to look at this point right here. This point right here, 0, 0, I picked that because it's easy to work with. Notice how it's less than the graph here. The graph right here is valued at 3, okay? Right here, at x equals 0, it's valued at 0. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play with those numbers right here, and I'm going to go ahead and plug them in over here. I'm going to go x plus y equals 3. Well, 0 is certainly not greater than or equal to 3. So it looks like we'll end up shading this side of the graph. Okay? And that's just me shading in the graph. The other thing to be aware of is the greater than or equal to sign. That means we also include the actual graph. The actual line itself is included in the shaded region, so you might want to do it like that. If it's not included, sometimes they like to just draw like a dashed line, okay? And we'll do that if need be. So yeah, you know, that's basically the gist of it right there. So let's do another example, okay? And in this example, we're gonna do, yeah, let's go ahead and do one of those examples where we just have a regular inequality sign. Okay, so we have that x minus y equals 5. Well, first let's go ahead and we'll put the equal sign in there just so we can do our xy pair thing. So if I put 0 in for x, what do I get? I get negative y equals 5. If I multiply both sides by negative 1, negative times negative is a positive. Negative times a positive gives me this guy right there. I don't want to confuse you right there. Confuse myself too if I do that. Okay, let's see here. Now if I put in 0 for y, x is equal to 5, isn't it? Okay, so that one's not too bad. So I have, let's see here, I get 0, negative 5, I have 5, 0, and I have x minus y less than 5. Okay, I just wanted to kind of transfer some of that information over there. Okay, so I have at x equals 0, I'm worth negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at x equals 5, I'm worth 0. Okay, now notice that I don't have a greater than or equal to sign, so I need to use the dotted line here because the actual graph of this inequality isn't included. Okay, now back to the other deal. I just got to determine which side of this graph I want to shade in. So I'm going to pick 0, 0 right here because that's easy to work with. And I get 0 minus 0. Well, that is certainly less than 5. So we can go ahead and shade in this portion of the graph. But we're just not going to include the actual value of the graph in this. Okay? So that is that. What do you say we do one more? Okay, same deal. Notice the greater than or equal to sign, so we've got a hard line that's included. Okay, if y is equals to 0, so we'll set y equal to 0. Okay, so it gives us 3x. Okay. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3, that's 2. And actually, I left my greater than or equal to sign in there, so I should put an equal sign in there. Oops, that's 3x minus y equals 6. Trying not to confuse everybody. Alright, let me put a 0 in for x and see what happens. That'll give me negative y equals 6. And by now you should know that this is just the same as y equals negative 6. Okay? So we get 0, negative 6. Okay, so let's transfer some of that information over here. So we get 0, 0, negative 6. And I have 3x plus y. Okay, here's my graph and my information about it that I need to know to complete my assignment. And let's see here, I got 2 comma 0, x is 2, y is 0. And I got x is 0, that's worth negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Almost didn't fit it on there. Notice since I have the greater than or equal to sign, I'm gonna draw a hard line and not a dashed line in here. Okay. And now we just gotta make sure which side of the graph to shade in. So I'm gonna plug in 0, 0 is on this side of the graph. Let me just plug 0, 0 in and see what happens. Well, that's just 3 times 0 is 0, minus 0 is 0. And that's certainly less than or equal to 6. So it looks like this whole region of the graph over here is shaded in. Because no matter whatever coordinate pairs over here I pick are going to equal 6. Or are going to be greater than, or less than, or equal 6. Sorry. See you in the next video.